Is it really possible for a tiny tweak to your morning coffee routine to ignite your metabolism and put your body into full fat-burning mode for the rest of the day?
Check out the link in the video description now and transform your morning coffee into a metabolism-boosting super drink.
Relatives of kidnapping hoaxer Sherri Papini claim she faked a bizarre paranoia about Mexican food, curly hair, and mariachi music after she returned to her family. The 41-year-old mother disappeared while out for a jog a mile from her house on November 2, 2016 before resurfacing 3 weeks later on Thanksgiving. But she was jailed in 2022 for the Gone Girl-style plot after it became clear she lied to police and gave herself injuries in an elaborate ruse to match the faux abduction. Now her family claims she pretended to be triggered by Mexican culture and would regularly break down during therapy to keep up her kidnapping lie. There were so many precautions taken, her mother-in-law Pam Papini told Hulu's docuseries titled Perfect Wife. She refused to eat black beans because they, kidnappers, only fed her cold black beans out of a can. Her scheme captivated the nation and has been the center of true crime documentaries and podcasts. She was reported missing in November 2016 when she suddenly vanished after going out for a jog. Sherri, who was 34 at the time, appeared dazed, battered and bruised 3 weeks later on Thanksgiving about 145 miles away from where had been last seen. In a new docuseries, her relatives claim she kept up the lie by faking a bizarre paranoia of Hispanic food and culture. I went to several of her therapy appointments with her. She would curl up and start screaming or crying, her older sister Sheila said. She would work through something in therapy, but she would find something new that would trigger her. She can't handle anything that had to do with Hispanic culture. Sherri's mother-in-law Pam added, there were so many precautions taken. While her ex-husband Keith said, if there was anybody with dark curly hair, any Hispanic people, it would heighten her anxiety. Like, is that them? Sherri's best friend Jennifer Harrison claimed she was triggered by lots of things, including loud noises and closed doors. She added that the mother of two would not be able to drive on her own. Keith said, if she needed to use the restroom, she couldn't handle the door shut. Then I would have to go into the bathroom and then close it, but she wouldn't want me to lock it. Pam added, she had to be next to him at all times. He was in charge of everything. Her ex-husband claimed she would refuse to eat food that wasn't prepared by him or her sister Sheila. She had to know the person and in front of her because she was being drugged by these people and they would put drugs in her food, Keith added. Sherri told the authorities that she heard mariachi music on the radio in the car when she was kidnapped and she allegedly described it as that really annoying Mexican music. Early on in the docuseries, Jennifer explained what Sherri told her about her relationship with Keith. If I ever try to leave him, he'll kill me, she said. She went down to he'll chop me up into little pieces and bury me in the backyard. But I will tell you she tends to be a little dramatic, a little exaggerative. Keith revealed he thought Sherri was lying about the ordeal as soon as he saw her after the alleged kidnapping. When I pulled back that curtain and I saw her very first reaction when she looked up at me, it just looked like she thought she was caught, he said. It's an image that's burned in the back of my brain. But he added that any doubt disappeared once he saw her injuries and he immediately felt horrible for even thinking that. He accompanied her to therapy sessions and once told the therapist, sometimes I don't believe what Sherri is telling me to be true. She's like, okay, well, you know, one thing I can always tell you is her stories never changed. At the end of the day, look at her body. You can't fake that sort of stuff. Look at the scars. Do you think she's capable of that? I remember I took a long pause. In a very shameful way, I was like, yeah, I can actually kind of see her doing that. But she seemed to do odd things in the past. She would lie, she would manipulate. Officers discovered Sherri with a chain around her waist, multiple injuries, and a brand on her shoulder. Over the following weeks she crafted an elaborate ruse, telling officers that she had been abducted by 2 Hispanic women who had beaten and branded her. But her story unraveled when officers found her ex.